Hi friends, welcome back to another poetry reading video. Like last time, I'm not sure how long this is going to last, but I thought it'd be fun to do some more poems. I'm going to try and do some longer ones tonight and hopefully not do some of the ones I did last time, but my memory as far as that goes is not ideal, and I just like reading poetry. So if I read one I did last time, I apologize. But we'll try and do new ones, and I'm going to try and shoot for some longer ones too. So let's see what we've got here. Alright, let's try this one. To a Friend by Grace Stricker Dawson. And I apologize, I haven't pre-read any of these, so if I mess up on the reading, my apologies. To a Friend by Grace Stricker Dawson. You entered my life in a casual way and saw at a glance what I needed. There were others who passed me or met me each day, but never a one of them heeded. Perhaps you were thinking of other folks more, or chance simply seemed to decree it. I know there were many such chances before, but the others, well, they didn't see it. You said just the thing that I wished you would say, and you made me believe that you meant it. I held up my head in the old gallant way and resolved you should never repent it. There are times when encouragement means such a lot, and a word is enough to convey it. There were others who could have, easy as not, but just the same, they didn't say it. There may have been someone who could have done more to help me along, though I doubt it. What I needed was cheering, and always before, they had let me plod onward without it. You helped to refashion the dream of my heart, and made me turn eagerly to it. There were others who might have, I question that part, but after all, they didn't do it. One of those things where you never know what someone is going through, so it's always better to be kind, and you never know when an encouraging word will be helpful and useful. So, err on the side of positivity. Let's see. Oh, here's one. If you but knew, by Anonymous. If you but knew how all my days seemed filled with dreams of you, how sometimes in the silent night your eyes thrill through me with their tender light, how oft I hear your voice when others speak, how you mid other forms I seek. O love more real than though such dreams were true, if you but knew. Could you but guess how you alone make all my happiness, how I am more than willing for your sake to stand alone, give all and nothing take, nor chafe to think you bound while I am free, quite free till death to love you silently. Could you but guess, could you but learn, how when you doubt my truth I sadly yearn to tell you all, to stand for one brief space, unfettered, soul to soul as face to face, to crown you king, my king, till life shall end, my lover and likewise my truest friend. Would you love me, dearest, as fondly in return, could you but learn? good poem. I always find unknown or anonymous writers really interesting because they are unknown, and we have no idea what place they came from when they were writing it, or why they wrote it, or what inspired them. Let's see this one. I don't know if I remember this one. You Kissed Me by Josephine Slocum Hunt. You kissed me, my head drooped low on your breast, with a feeling of shelter and infinite rest, and while the holy emotions my tongue dared not speak flashed up as in flame from my heart to my cheek. Your arms held me fast, oh, your arms were so bold, heart beat against heart in their passionate fold. Your glances seemed drawing my soul through mine eyes, as the sun draws the mist from the sea to the skies. Your lips clung to mine till I prayed in my bliss they might never unclasp from the rapturous kiss. You kissed me, my heart, my breath, and my will, in delirious joy for a moment stood still. Life had for me then no temptations, no charms, no visions of rapture outside of your arms. And were I this instant an angel possessed of the peace and the joy that belong to the blessed, I would fling my white robes unrepentingly down. I would tear from my forehead its beautiful crown, to nestle once more in that haven of rest, your lips upon mine, my head on your breast. You kissed me, my soul in a bliss so divine, reeled and swooned like a drunkard when foolish with wine, and I thought 'twere delicious to die there, if death would but come while my lips were yet moist with your breath. While your arms clasped me round in that blissful embrace, while your eyes melt in mine, could e'en death e'er efface. Oh, these are the questions I ask day and night. Must my lips taste no more such exquisite delight? Would you wish that your breast were my shelter as then? And if you were here, would you kiss me again? Sorry for botching the reading a little bit there. It's a very intense poem. Very well written. Let's see. If you could tell, we're in the love and friendship section of the book. I went through the sections last time, but I'm sure we'll get to the other ones as well. Inspiration. This is the one I usually read from for the daily poems. I've been bouncing between this book and a different book, but usually when I'm reading the daily poems, they're coming more or less often from the inspiration section, because I think we all need a little bit of inspiration now and again, even if it's 30 seconds to a minute of YouTube shorts. Let's do this one. A Soul Soliloquy by Winona Stevens Abbott. Today the journey is ended. I have worked out the mandates of fate. Naked, alone, undefended, I knock at the uttermost gate. Behind is life and its longing, its trial, its trouble, its sorrow. Beyond is the infinite morning of a day without a tomorrow. Go back to dust and decay, body grown weary and old. You are worthless to me from today. No longer my soul can you hold. I lay you down gladly forever, for a life that is better than this. I go where partings ne'er sever. you into oblivion's bliss. Lo, the gate swings wide at my knocking. Across endless reaches I see lost friends with laughter come flocking to give a glad welcome to me. Farewell, the maze has been threaded. This is the ending of strife. Say not that death should be dreaded. 'Tis but the beginning of life. Really pleasant poem. It's very, should almost put that one in the faith and reverence section of this book. Not that it's not inspirational, but it's kind of the borderline. Let's do this one. Hold Fast Your Dreams by Louise Driscoll. Hold fast your dreams within your heart. Keep one still, secret spot where dreams may go, and, sheltered so, may thrive and grow, where doubt and fear are not. Oh, keep a place apart within your heart for little dreams to go. Think still of lovely things that are not true. Let wish and magic work at will in you. Be sometimes blind to sorrow, make believe, forget the calm that lies in disillusioned eyes. Though we all know that we must die, yet you and I may walk like gods and be, even now, at home in immortality. We see so many ugly things, deceits and wrongs and quarrelings. We know, alas, we know, how quickly fade the color in the west, the bloom upon the flower, the bloom upon the breast. And youth's blind hour, yet keep within your heart a place apart, where little dreams may go, may thrive and grow. Hold fast your dreams. Pretty sure I read that one last time, considering I didn't trip over any of the words. So my apologies if I did. I really like this poem a lot, and especially for me now that I'm starting to get a little older. I just had a birthday. Not that I'm like crazy old, just older than I used to be. So it's one of those things that, you really have to remember your dreams. And, this is one of them. It might seem like a little dream, but reading poetry, maybe not for a living, but just give a little joy and a little, I don't know, I don't want it to sound pompous, just kind of spread poetry around, because I think it's something that needs to come back in vogue a little bit more. Not that it's not, obviously, it's just a very different style. We're in a very pessimistic age, and my own poetry kind of reflects that in myself. It's not very happy poetry. So I think it's good, especially to look at people who can really write positively, and have that kind of poetic mindset. For example, when I try and write poetry that is quote unquote happy, it sounds very hollow to me. I just don't write happy poetry very well. I think my poetry tends to be very dark, and it goes very dark places. So to read, dare I say, masters of the craft, right, that made it to a book like this, that's, favorite poems of American people. The fact that you can read poems that are that positive, it's really, it's inspiring to me, the fact that people can write in such a positive way, or have that perspective, and not just have that perspective, because I try and be positive. Just when I write, it sounds very hollow, but when they write it, it's positive, and it has a ring, like it rings true. Let's see. Try not to read some of the ones that I've done for YouTube shorts as well, as much as I enjoy those. Let's do, let's see. Let's do this one. Living by Anonymous. To touch the cup with eager lips and taste, not drain it. To woo and tempt and court a bliss and not attain it. To fondle and caress a joy, yet hold it lightly, lest it become necessity and cling too tightly. To watch the sun set in the west without regretting, to hail its advent in the east, the night forgetting. To smother care and happiness and grief and laughter, to hold the present close, not questioning hereafter, to have enough to share, to know the joy of giving, to thrill with all the sweets of life is living. I feel like I read that in the last video too, so my apologies. But once again, one of those poems I really like and I just gravitate to. Let's do this one. The Day is Done by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The day is done, and the darkness falls from the wings of night, as a feather is wafted downward from an eagle in his flight. I see the lights of the village gleam through the rain and the mist, and a feeling of sadness comes o'er me that my soul cannot resist, a feeling of sadness and longing that is not akin to pain, and resembles sorrow only as the mist resembles the rain. Come, read to me some poem, some simple and heartfelt lay, that shall soothe this restless feeling and banish the thoughts of day. Not from the grand old masters, not from the bards sublime, whose distant footsteps echo through the corridors of time, for, like strains of martial music, their mighty thoughts suggest life's endless toil and endeavor, and tonight I long for rest. Read from some humbler poet, whose songs gush from his heart as showers from the clouds of summer, or tears from eyelids start, who through long days of labor and nights devoid of ease still heard in his soul the music of wonderful melodies. Such songs have power to quiet the restless pulse of care, and come like the benediction that follows after prayer. Then read from the treasured volume the poem of thy choice, and lend to the rhyme of the poet the beauty of thy voice. And the night shall be filled with music, and the cares that infest the day shall fold their tents like the Arabs and silently steal away. Such a good poem. Sorry, Bagheera is making his presence known. Like we were talking about before, reading poets that are unknown. We have no idea who they are, but they had that thought of music. They had the music of poetry in them, and they wanted to share it. My Neighbor's Roses. I read this as a short, and I have an Instagram page I also put my daily poems up on, and it's so funny. I was looking up Abraham L. Gruber's biography to post as part of Instagram and on TikTok, because I posted a biography with it, and I was trying to look it up, and my poem reading on Instagram from a couple years ago is the first thing that comes up. So I guess I cornered the internet. I cornered the internet on Abraham L. Gruber, My Neighbor's Roses. Now let's do this one. The Common Road by Silas H. Perkins. I want to travel the common road with the great crowd surging by, where there's many a laugh and many a load and many a mile and many a smile and sigh. I want to be on the common way with its endless tramping feet, in the summer bright and winter gray, in the noonday sun and heat, in the cool of evening with shadows nigh, at dawn when the sun breaks clear. I want the great crowd passing by token what they see and hear. I want to be one of the common herd, not live in a sheltered way, want to be thrilled, want to be stirred by the great crowd day by day, to glimpse the restful valleys deep, to toil up the rugged hill, to see the brooks which shyly creep, to have the torrents thrill. I want to laugh with the common man, wherever he chance to be. I want to aid him when I can, whenever there's need of me. I want to lend a helping hand over the rough and steep, to a child too young to understand, to comfort those who weep. I want to live and work and plan with the great crowd surging by, to mingle with the common man, no better or worse than I. It's a good one. Almost like a Opposite of the Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Poems that tell the story. These tend to be the longer ones. I was thinking of doing I don't want to say a more professional, but something between this and maybe a step above that is more of an individual reading, like do individual videos of these longer poems and edit it. Some of my older videos from last year are that way, where I add like sound effects and stuff like that. Not that those videos didn't perform super well. I always like it to kind of like old radio dramas where they add the extra sound effects and stuff. It's kind of I don't mean to say like step above as in it's better, but just like adding sound effects to give you a little bit more of a visual. I was thinking of doing that for some of these, but it seems like people enjoy just the reading straight up, so I'm also happy to do that. And I know I say this I put this in the description, but if you have any suggestions for poems or even short stories that you'd like read on the channel, I'm more than happy to take any and all suggestions. Or if you have poets you'd like me to read for the channel, also happy to take any suggestions. Let's see. Sorry, I had to do a double take. I read this as The Loving Ballad of Lord Batman, not Bateman. I was like, wait a minute. Most of these poets were in the 1800s, early 1900s, or early 1900s. So I guess some of them were old enough to know Batman existed. I think Batman released in the 1930s. Let's do this one. The Gray Swan by Alice Carey. Oh, tell me, sailor, tell me true, is my little lad, my Elihu, a sailing with your ship? The sailor's eyes were dim with dew. Your little lad, your Elihu? He said with trembling lip. What little lad? What ship? What little lad? As if there could be another such and one as he. What little lad do you say? Why, Elihu, that took to the sea. The moment I put him off my kneel, the moment I put him off my knee, it was just another day. The gray swan sailed away. The other day, the sailor's eyes stood open with great surprise. The other day, the swan, his heart began in his throat to rise. Aye, aye, sir, here on the cupboard lies the jacket he had on, and so your lad is gone? But my good mother, do you know, all this 20 years ago, I stood on the gray swan's deck, and to that lad I saw you throw, taking it off as it might be so, the handkerchief from your neck. Aye, and he'll bring it back. And did the little lawless lad that has made you sick and made you sad sail with the gray swan's crew? Lawless, the man is going mad. The best boy mother ever had. Be sure he sailed with the crew. What would you have him do? And he has never written line, nor sent you a word, nor made you sign to say he was alive? Hold, if 'twas wrong, the wrong is mine. Besides, he may be in the brine, and could he write from the grave? Tut, man, what would you have? Gone 20 years, a long, long cruise. 'Twas wicked thus your love to abuse. But if the lad still live, and come back home, think you can forgive him, miserable man? You're mad as the sea, you rave. What have I to forgive? The sailor twitched his shirt so blue that, and from within his bosom drew the handkerchief. She was wild. My God, my father, is it true? My little lad, my Elihu? My blessed boy, my child, my dead, my living child? Sorry for messing up that reading a little bit there. Again, did not pre-read anything I'm reading tonight. Section did we just get to? Oh, faith and reverence. Let's see. I so very rarely make it to the back of this book when I read. I always am in the front. Let's do one more. See what we can find. this one. Let's do this one. Memory by Abraham Lincoln when he was 37 years old. Yes, that Abraham Lincoln. My childhood's home I see again, and sadden with the view, and still as memories crowds my brain, there's pleasure in it too. O memory, thou midway world, twixt earth and paradise, where things decayed and loved ones lost in dreamy shadows rise, and free from all that's earthly vile, seemed hallowed, pure and bright, like scenes in some enchanted isle, all bathed in liquid light. As dusky mountains please the eye when twilight chases day, as bugle notes that passing by in distance die away, as leaving some grand waterfall we lingering list its roar, so memory will hollow all we've known but know no more. Near 20 years have passed away since here I bid farewell to woods and fields and scenes of play and playmates loved so well, where many were but few remain of old familiar things, but seeing them to mind again the lost and absent brings. The friends I left that parting day, how changed as time has sped, young childhood grown, strong manhood gray, and half of all are dead. I hear the loved survivors tell how naught from death could save, till every sound appears a knell, and every spot a grave. I range the fields with pensive tread, and pace the hollow rooms, and feel, companion of the dead, I'm living in the tombs. Such a powerful poem. It's one of those I wish more politicians would be interested in writing poetry. I think it would give a better perspective if they read more and read poetry and literature and stuff more. Such a well-spoken man was Abraham Lincoln. I think that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said earlier, if you have any requests or poems you'd like read or stories you'd like me to read, I'm planning on doing some short stories at some point as well. But if you have any poets or poems you'd like me to read, please don't hesitate to comment or reach out. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. I hope I see you in the next one.